Let's say you want to create a website where you'll write coding articles. For example, article like this. Now in your website, you want to show the codes as well as the output. Like you see here. If I change something here, like if I say tab ABC, as you can see it also changes here. So you want to add an interactive code editor with a preview right into your website. How you can do that? In this video, I'll show you how to do exactly that using React and a library called sandpack. Let's see how to do that. Okay, so I have an empty folder opened in VS Code. Now I'm going to create a React project using Vite. So I'm going to say npm create Vite at latest, and I'm going to say dot because I'm already in the folder, and we're going to choose React, and let's just choose JavaScript, and now we can say npm I to install, and then we can say npm run dev. And this is our newly created React app. So let's delete some stuff that we don't need. I can delete the assets folder. I don't need the app.css. And in the index.css, let's delete everything as well and just say everything will have a margin 0, a padding of 0, and box sizing to border box. Let's go to our main.js, and main.js is good. And in our app.jsx, we can also remove most of the codes here. So let's remove it. We don't need the state. And for now, let's just say hello. Okay, now we have a basic React project. Okay, let's start to create some content. So I can have a div with a class of container. Inside that, let's say we're going to have a h1. And let's just say my coding article. And we can have some dummy paragraphs. So let's use lorem ipsum. And we can copy it a few more times. And let's just do some very basic styling. So let's go to our CSS. We can say our container will have a padding of, let's say, 24 pixel. Let's target the h1 and give it some margin at the bottom, and then target the paragraphs and say they will also have some margin at the bottom, and let's say their opacity will be 0.8. Then we can say body and some basic styles. Okay, this should be it. Now let's focus on creating the interactive editor. Let's see how we can do that. For that, I'm going to use a library called sandpack. So simply search for sandpack React, and this should be the first link. Click on it, and you have to run this command to install it. So simply copy this and create a new terminal, and we can run the code npm install add codesandbox /sandpack react. And while this is installing, let's look at the docs. So click on docs, and then we're going to go to the quick start guide. And as you can see, we have various type of template. We have static, which is for HTML, CSS and JavaScript websites. We have Angular, React, Solid, vanilla JavaScript and Vue. So a lot of option. And we also have a lot of themes. So let's say I'm going to choose the dark theme, and I am going to use static template. And here we have a preview of how our editor will look like. And we also get a code snippet. So we can simply copy this. Go to our app.jsx, we can import the sandpack, and let's say we're going to put it right here. And here we're going to have a file object. So we're going to say file equals to, it will be an object. First we're going to say the file name. So we can say index.html, and then we're going to use backticks. And here we're going to have the template of our HTML. So we don't need the doc type, the head and the body tag. We can simply write our contents. Let's try to use a h1 tag. And here let's say hello world. And let's just keep it simple like this. And then we can also define a template. So we can say template, and our template will be static. And let's see how this looks. And look at that, we have an editor with our code, and we also have a preview. So right now it is white. We can change the theme. Let's see. So we simply have to say theme equals to dark to get the dark theme. and now it is dark. But we also have a lot more themes. So for example, we have aqua blue. If we want to use aqua blue, what we have to do is first import it like this. And then we can use this in our theme. So here instead of string, we can use an object. And it looks like we have some error. So let's try to install the themes first. So I'm going to copy this. And here I'm going to say npm I for install and paste it. And let's try to save again, and everything works now. Let's try another theme. Let's try the atom dark. So again we have to import atom dark from the theme, and we have to use atom dark as a theme. And here I think I like it, so we're going to go with this. Okay, we can have multiple files. So let's also create a style sheet. So I'm going to have a style.css. For now, let's just say h1. Our h1 will have a color of red. But we don't see anything. That is because we actually have to link our style sheets in our HTML. So here we can use the link tag. And the relation will be style sheet, and href can be styles.css. And this should be files, not file anymore. And now we have our style.css as well as our index.html. And our h1 is also colored red. So everything is working fine. And let's try to add a JavaScript file as well. So we can say a file with the name of index.js, and for now let's just console.log hello world. And let's also link it here. So we're going to say script a source of index.js. Here is our index.js, but we don't see it in a console. So if you want to show the consoles, we can use an option. So we can have an options prop here. So we're going to say options. It's also going to be an object. Let's say show console, and this one will be true. And as you can see, we get hello world. And let's say I want to show the index.js by default. So right now the index.html is opened by default, but I want index.js to be opened. So in that case, what we can do is instead of simply passing a string, we can pass an object. So I'm going to cut this, and we're going to say it will be an object here instead, and the code will be whatever we had before, but now we can also say active equals to true, and now this will be active by default. In the options, we can also pass a lot more properties, like we can say show line numbers to show the line numbers. We can also say read only to true, and now we cannot edit them, we can only see them. So this is the static template. We have a lot more template here. If you want to show a React project, you can use React. You have Svelte, you have Vue, you have Vanilla, Angular. And you also have different types of layout. You can play on this page here to find out what you need. And I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any video suggestion, just leave a comment and I'll try to make it as soon as possible.